me be. I'll be going till it's all in motion. Talking killing rappers, then I hit my quota. And my train of thought is more a locomotive. Talking reason for it, I got locomotives. Used to be on a revenge tip, on a stun on my ex and a friend's tip. I was Spider-Man whipping the black suit. I was powerful but almost lost Luke. Blurring the line between human and artist. Try not to change, but I swear it's the hardest. I swear when you're up, they turn you to a target. Home was a trip, all I did when I'm talking. So blurring the line between what it takes to be an icon. All in your desktop, so I just might already be one. My me with the label, it feels on the table one time, but I'm down for a free lunch. Just speaking my heat-seeking missiles of hits, but other than me, I see no heat exists. Yo, gassed up, I'm about to go green, go green, go green. Hulk smash if she know me, know me, know me. Write it to life like I'm Stan Lee, Stan Lee, Stan Lee. If life's about to be a cold war, I'm the hero that they asked for. Green, green, green. I'm about to go, I'm about to go green, green, green. I'm about to go, I'm about to go green, green. I'm about to go, I'm about to go green. Get the fuck back, I'm about to go green. I might begin making a feature Iraq. Cause when I hit your beat, I turn shit to Iraq. Dropping bombs like I'm cursing you out. This your house, then I'm kicking you out. Quiet as a mouse, came in the game, now the word is out that I've been lighting the flame. Shit is potent, don't you know it? I've been flowing, steady growing till they know the name. Saw it ahead of time, knew that I'd get to my losing myself in the view to some window pane. I swear I'm all about peace, I'm a positive person. Wasn't always like that, you know it took me some learning. They asked me how I push a positive light, how I keep my composure through internal fights when addressing the mic through these dark nights. Where the Bruce Wayne, what a trick be. Here's some truth that I'll let free. Bruce Banner of rap if you ask me. When my will to win and the track meet, the secret is I'm always angry. Yo, gassed up, I'm about to go green, go green, go green. Hulk smash if she know me, know me, know me. Write it to life like I'm Stan Lee, Stan Lee, Stan Lee. If life's about to be a cold war, I'm the hero that they asked for. Green, green, green. I'm about to go, I'm about to go green, green, green. I'm about to go, I'm about to go green, green, green. I'm about to go, I'm about to go green, green. Get the fuck back, I'm about to go green.
When they come, and they will, they'll come for you.
I have an army.
We have a Hulk.
Oh, I thought the Beast had wandered off.
You're missing the point. There's no throne. There is no version of this where you come out on top.
Let me infiltrate the beat, concentrate the heat. If you ain't on my level, fuck it, let me be. I'll be going till it's all in motion. Talking killing rappers, then I hit my quota. And my train of thought is more a locomotive. Talking reason for it, I got locomotives. Used to be on a revenge tip, on a stun on my ex and a friend's tip. I was Spider-Man whipping the black suit. I was powerful but almost lost Luke. Blurring the line between human and artist. Try not to change, but I swear it's the hardest. I swear when you're up, they turn you to a target. Home was a trip, all I did when I'm talking. So, what it take to be an icon? All in your desktop, so I just might already be one. My me with the label, it feels on the table one time, but I'm down for a free lunch. Just speaking my heat-seeking missiles of hits, but other than me, I see no heat exists. Yo, gassed up, I'm about to go green, go green, go green. Hulk smash if she know me, know me, know me. Write it to life like I'm Stan Lee, Stan Lee, Stan Lee. If life's about to be a cold war, I'm the hero that they asked for. Green, green, green. I'm about to go, I'm about to go green, green, green. I'm about to go, I'm about to go green, green, green. I'm about to go, I'm about to go green, green. Get the fuck back, I'm about to go green. I might begin making a feature Iraq. Cause when I hit your beat, I turn shit to Iraq. Dropping bombs like I'm cursing you out. This your house, then I'm kicking you out. Quiet as a mouse, came in the game, now the word is out that I've been lighting the flame. Shit is potent, don't you know it? I've been flowing, steady growing till they know the name. Saw it ahead of time, knew that I'd get to my losing myself in the view to some window pane. I swear I'm all about peace, I'm a positive person. Wasn't always like that, you know it took me some learning. They asked me how I push a positive.
All right, y'all, good evening. Make sure I got my mic set up. Who's talking about typos out here, y'all? All right. Good to see everybody. It's Saturday night. We'll get it on and popping here in a little bit as we get more and more people in here. What are we looking at? Watch these numbers go. All right, y'all. Shout out to those of you that are here early, always on deck. I appreciate you guys. You know, I know people catch it after the show, but there's nothing like walking into a live stream and knowing there's people here waiting for the goods. They're waiting for us to blow. So if you can read the little ticker at the bottom here, Jordan Buchanan visited today, and he's already announced it. He took his pictures, he did all his stuff, and he announced it on his Twitter. This is a young man who played defensive back at Purdue. Now, he didn't play. He redshirted this year. Let me try to find him on this list. He's really far down. That's how far down you got to dig on these lists for defensive backs. You got to sift through the trash. There he is, Jordan Buchanan. So let me tell you about this kid. So I watched him play in high school, and he doesn't have a Huddle film up on his 24/7, but you can probably find it on Huddle. And what you want to do is, if you want to see how good this kid is, and you want to see film on anybody in Georgia, I'm going to teach you guys how to do it, and I'm going to do it early in this stream here. So let me show you guys what I'm talking about. First thing I'm going to do is minimize myself so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, we're going to go up into this address bar. A little dangerous here. We're going to type in www, and we'll go to Google, just so you guys do it like I do. GPB Sports. There it is in purple. And that stands for Georgia Public Broadcasting Sports. And you're going to go click on that link, and you're going to get to this homepage here. And this is for Georgia Sports. GPB Sports is right here. And when you get here, I want you to go to On Demand. On Demand. And scroll down a little bit. Now, you're going to see a bunch of talking, interviews. Some of these people are terrible at their jobs, trust me. There's Dylan Lonergan. He's going to Alabama, right? There's Terrell over here. Where'd he go? I think he might have went to Clemson. Could be wrong. Here's all the basketball championships. You're just going to scroll past all this. Keep hitting load more. I don't want to do that right now. Keep hitting load more. Those are state championships, by the way. And then you'll get to the football championships. And here you can see the state games. So if you ever wanted to see how Mill Creek went up against Juju Lewis, you know, that all-world freshman everybody's talking about, the kid who threw for 4,000 yards as a freshman. He played for Carrollton. They're undefeated. They're playing Mill Creek. In this game, you're going to see a final score, spoiler alert, 70-35. We're talking about Jamal Anderson Jr. playing linebacker. You're talking about Caleb Downs, Alabama's finest. It's just a who's who. Watch the game. It's pretty incredible. There's some other important games over here. Warner Robins and Ware County, a battle away cross opponents. Sandy Creek and the infamous touchdown being scored. They were about 3 yards short from a touchdown, and the sideline judge called a touchdown. It went viral. They never scored. So Sandy Creek has a fictitious state title over Cedar Grove. It's insane. Watching Langston Hughes, everybody wants to talk about, have you seen Air Nolan? Have you seen Air Nolan? Well, you can watch him in the state championship game here against Gainesville. They win that one. Keep hitting load more, though. As you hit load more, you'll see other games down here. Shout out to Fitzgerald and Thompson. Thompson's down the street from me. These guys come out and rush for like 500 yards. It's an insane game. You got track speed galore. I love this game over here with Swainsboro and Prince Avenue Christian. This is 1A. This is where Brock Vandergrift played high school football. And for his dad, he's still the coach. And when you watch the game, Swainsboro comes out with a track meet of a team. They won state in like the 4x1 in track. And everybody on that relay is on the football team. They have some really fast guys, and they get punched in the mouth. It's really awesome to watch. They do get their touchdowns off, but Prince Avenue Christian just comes out of nowhere and does the damn thing. And you can see all these games. But if you look, there's flag football for the girls, by the way. You can watch the girls play flag football. But if you keep scrolling back and keep hitting load more, it'll take you back to years prior. And what you'll start to see is playoff games, regular season games, and this is when you can dig really deep, and I dig deep. And this is when you can find North Gwinnett back in about 2020, 2021 timeframe, and that's where you'll see Buchanan playing some games. If you're interested in seeing a guy who just committed to the Buffaloes and you want to know what he's about, he was playing for North Gwinnett back then, and they played probably 2 games on GPB. I sift through that stack all day long. I go through it and trying to find players and seeing what they did, especially if I see they're from Georgia. I go back and watch their games. It's always there. It's free. And just some free game for you guys. No matter where you live in this world, you can go to GPB Sports on a Friday night, and you can watch their game of the week, and you'll be able to see some amazing players here in Georgia, free to watch on TV. There you go. I think they televise 2 games. So there's that. So yeah, pretty exciting time right now. Before we get started, though, we're gonna go check out the Rivals transfer portal tracker. It's generally up to date. The Rivals website is not to be trusted, but this you should be able to look at and see what's happening. And let's see if they have any updates for today. Or maybe they took the day off. It is Saturday. These guys probably don't work as hard as I do. I'm just saying. Look at this. It just aired out and said I can't reach the page. What's going on? That's never happened to me before. Let's be patient. There we go. Patience is the key, y'all. So, we're looking at some moves here. Cameron Johnson just announced. Cameron Johnson has decided to let the world know he picked Missouri. If you guys don't remember, he's picked Missouri because USC was his other option, and they took Pregnon from Wyoming. So that's a move there. I'll talk about Mayo in another video. It's a lateral move at best. Craig McDonald, defensive back, going from Auburn to Minnesota. And I'm going to talk about it tonight, but Minnesota has been offering as many DBs as they can, and this will be the first domino of many to fall. So that means some other DBs who have been offered by Minnesota will be out of a scholarship. Craig McDonald pulled the trigger first because there's guys that are offered by Minnesota, and they're not taking the offer while they look at other possibilities. Caleb Burton, wide receiver, Ohio State, going to Auburn. I got everybody in my chat and everybody in my DMs telling me, oh, how good is he? How good is he? Look, everybody relax. Just because you came from Ohio State, just because you're going to Auburn, doesn't make you any better than anybody else. The helmet sticker doesn't make you any better than anyone as far as I'm concerned. I need to know what you did. And I think I talked about Caleb Burton the other day, and I did. I said he had an Auburn visit set up. He's a Texas kid. And I said his dad played at Syracuse. I actually thought that Caleb Burton would go to Notre Dame to take over because since Styles left, right, Lorenzo Styles moved over to Ohio State. I thought it'd be a cool one-for-one swap. But nonetheless, go down to Auburn, go play for Hugh Freeze, go figure out your offense. It's really good. I think it's Philip Montgomery, the new offensive coordinator for former Tulsa head coach. So just exciting time for them. And the rest of these updates were from last night. Nothing really too big to talk about. We've touched on them multiple times. So those are the new ones. There's other ones. These guys are behind. There's some other ones, and I'll pull them up right now. Let me see if I can pull up Twitter and talk to you guys. But I want to stay on the theme of I'm doing the breaking news for now, but the reality is some of these guys don't know what's going down in this world, and it's rivals 24/7 and on 3. So, let's go to their Twitter and see if they got it. No, we don't do that. We don't do that. You don't see where Jordan Buchanan committed to CU? Zion, you're not going to see it. I got breaking news. I already know, Zion. So here we go. This is another commitment here. This is Cyrus Dumas. I'm going to talk about him tonight, so I'll leave that one for later. This is a huge one. I just made a video about this. This is Isaiah Ifanse, and I want to talk about Isaiah Ifanse. Isaiah Ifanse is an FCS running back. He played at Montana. See how it says Montana State transfer, Isaiah Ifanse to Cal? Well, that's not necessarily true. So he didn't play much last year. He was injured. 1 second. But this is a guy that's rushed for like 3,400 yards in his career. He's not overly fast, but he's one of those Mo Ibrahim type running backs. And he transferred in the winter. He transferred in the winter to San Jose State. And I was so proud of him. When he left Montana State, I was like, hey, this is a guy, he's going to go to the FBS and prove he belongs. And I'm really an advocate for FCS level guys finally fulfilling their dreams and playing high level football. So go to San Jose State and rock that, right? And he goes, and he's there for the spring. And out of nowhere, he jumps back in the portal. And the first thing I thought was, oh my goodness, he couldn't start at San Jose State? He should have been able to start there and been the star running back. This is a guy I've seen play for years at the FCS level, dominating games. Like I said, Mo Ibrahim 2.0. And I'm like, what is going on? And out of nowhere, he jumps in the transfer portal this spring after just transferring in the winter, right? And now he's committed to Cal. And I'm telling you right now, Cal's got a problem. They're paying way too much money for these guys. Cal doesn't even need running backs. And they go and get Isaiah Ifanse. It's his final year. They're going to have a running back by committee. Shout out to, guys believing in themselves and saying they want to get to the Power 5 level. We'll see if it backfires. But as far as I'm concerned, if he's not injured and he's ready to go, this is a huge move for Cal getting a running back of this caliber. Okay? Let me see another move here. There you go. Cameron Johnson choosing to go to Missouri because the USC offer was off the table at that point. So he's going to Missouri. Shout out to him. He'll be a starter. This is a guy who started every game on the offensive line for Houston last year, and he's going to be starting in the SEC. That's cool. A backup quarterback, I think he was a preferred walk-on. Jarrett Sinek, I got to double-check that. But he left Nebraska, and he's going to South Dakota. Not South Dakota State, not the Jackrabbits, just regular old South Dakota. So that's good for him. He's got a chance to go play down there for the are they the Coyotes? And he'll be down to the FCS level. That's pretty cool. Harvard transfer, Khalil Darcy, committed to Delaware. It's a lateral move at best, as far as I'm concerned. Hey, shout out to Keyshawn Mills, former Colorado Buffalo. Keyshawn Mills has found a home. He's originally from Texas, so going back home, he's excited. Where's he from in Texas? I put it in my video on TikTok. Little Elm, Texas. So he's going back to Texas, got an offer at SMU. SMU continues to get a bunch of dudes. It's incredible. It is what it is. Here we go. Texas State. Texas State gets an Iowa State wide receiver in Sean Shaw. I'm going to tell you guys, Sean Shaw is 6'6", I think, or 6'4", 220 pounds or so. He's been at Iowa State for 4 years. He plays every single year. His freshman year, he got on the scene. This is when he hit my radar. He's at Iowa State as a freshman. He scores 5 touchdowns in less than 20 receptions. Every catch he got is at the goal line, he's a mismatch. And he never really had as much production as that first freshman year. I think he's only scored 1 touchdown since, so maybe 6 touchdowns so far. But he's always playing. He's always on the field. Less than 25 receptions every single year. But I still think this is a stud for Texas State. G.J. Kinney getting, they just got that FCS All-American yesterday in Joey Hobart, and now you go and get Sean Shaw. So, just like I said, what Colorado needs to do. Get your X, your Y, and your Z. You need that X. You need that number one receiver that can win the 50-50 balls, can run a fade down the sideline, and beat everybody trying to cover him. So shout out to them. Colin's coming back home. South Carolina transfer, Colin Heinrich, going to Georgia State. It's, hey, I got to get some playing time. I go play down there. Here's a Division II kid. Division II defensive back out of Northern Michigan, right? Josh Shopidopo. I cannot find any film on this guy. There's no Northern Michigan games anywhere. I looked and looked and looked. All I got to go off of is somebody's word and hunch. But he's going to Western Kentucky to go play for Tyson Helton. So shout out to him for getting that opportunity. I love seeing Division II guys move up, FCS guys move up. The only thing that does on me is I have to go do some homework because I don't know all the FCS guys or Division II guys. I don't watch their football unless it's the playoffs. I watch FCS playoffs, and if they're playing an FBS team, and then the third option is when they transfer to an FBS school, I go look up everything I can about them. Because they weren't in an initial recruiting class at the FBS level, I don't have an earthly idea who they are. And that happens a lot. That happens with JUCOs. That happens with FCS players transferring to the FBS, and obviously Division II to the FBS. So those are the glaring holes in my game and the people I don't know, and I got to do legwork. I got to do legwork like everybody else. So there's that. Let's see any other commitments that are a big deal to me. This one's funny. Jason Albitran. He's coming over from South Florida. He's a running back. He's he's an old school fullback. And he's joining the Ole Miss running back room. Ole Miss running back room is loaded. And he's a preferred walk-on. He's not getting a scholarship. He's a preferred walk-on. He better be. He was a preferred walk-on at South Florida, so he better be at Ole Miss. Charleston Southern, I need to look him up. DB, Jeremiah McClendon, moving over to FIU. FIU's got a couple guys we're going to talk about tonight. They missed on some guys. Hey, how about a kicker going to Michigan? Mississippi State. He's leaving to Michigan. Let's see if he can make these kicks that matter. And I think those are all the updates I want to hit on. Obviously, we talked about Troy Everett last night. I had a typo in his name. Nobody told me. Going from App State to there. And I think we're good. So now we can probably hit the DBs. But that's all the breaking news updates for today. You don't see the one I'm talking about. You don't see it. The one I have down here, Jordan Buchanan. But if you look up Jordan Buchanan and you go to his Twitter approximately 27 minutes ago, this is why we're cutting edge, Jordan Buchanan said he has 4 years of eligibility left. He said, we're coming. He took official visit, and he said, we're coming. Took pictures, and he posted them. We're coming, we're coming. Jordan Buchanan and his visit. Now, are we telling me it's just a visit and he didn't commit? Is that what you guys are telling me? All these pictures are him not committing? He keeps writing, we're coming. Let me know what's up. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? No, CU did not lose out on Cameron. Okay, I'll get to the chat here. You guys, some of you guys are talking out of turn and talking crazy. So we've been over this 100 times, but we'll go to the chat. I'm going to read the chat, and then I'm going to hit the DBs, and we'll attack it like that. So let me close these windows and get ready for us to have a discussion about defensive backs. And we'll go down the list. And we'll talk about who's available in the portal, who Colorado should be interested in, who they shouldn't be, and what are we doing from there. So here we go. Hit the like button, everybody. Thank you very much. I never tell people to do it. I'm reading the chat here. Shouldn't Buffaloes have an E? Tell me it doesn't. I'm quick with it. Got my popcorn. Where did you get the list of players visiting Colorado this weekend? Gene Smith, I dug around and asked a coach. I talked to the Colorado coaching staff. So I kind of know what's going down. Somebody said Brian Howell, the beat writer for CU. He probably put it out as well. That's a big play, Ray's son. Okay, big play, Ray. Got it. Shiloh shopping for purses and perfume in his latest video. Yeah, I try not to watch the non-football videos. It saves me a lot of time. Trevor Woods, meanwhile, eating raw meat and thinking about hurting people. There you go. Two different mindsets, right? One guy's worried about fashion. The other guy's a meat eater. I like to tell my soldiers, hey, I'm a carnivore. I'm a meat eater guy. You're a leaf eater. Some of us are here to do stuff, and the others are just here to watch. CU lost some good players in the portal. I wonder if the depth will come back and bite them later. Chris, I don't necessarily know how much it's going to bite them. I don't know. They were 1-11. What more could it bite them? The players they did lose in the portal that I've seen, about 6 or 7 are FBS caliber that I've seen that they lost out of the 51. About 7 have FBS level offers. The rest are FCS level or still waiting for their name to be called. So that's why you're the man. Breaking news, breaking news. Yep. Hey, listen, I might be jumping the gun. Apparently, looking at his Twitter, he was just taking pictures with us. He was just taking pictures with Colorado. I might be jumping the gun. How do you feel about Colorado getting so many secondary guys with 2 5-stars everyone thinks will start? Well, Mr. Maurice, I don't think what everybody thinks matters. I think you need to get as many players as possible. I say what everybody thinks doesn't matter, and then I tell you what I think. So how does it – that's kind of a contradiction. But listen, what I'm saying is you need to get players. You need competition. You need to go to practice every day. You can't concede that 5 stars are going to start. You're going to see some guys on this list tonight that I go through, and you're going to see some guys not worthy of a scholarship at Colorado. And guess what? They got 4 and 5 stars all over them. They got 4. Look, there's a 5-star guy right here, Tyreek Johnson. Wait till we get to Tyreek Johnson, 5-star. Oh, my God, there's a 5-star in the transfer portal. We need to get him. What about Demario Tate? 5-star. Well, he's really a 4 or 5-star, whatever it is. Highest rated player at Florida State since 2017, since Cam Akers. This is the highest rated guy they've gotten in the recruiting class since 2017. Nobody wants him. He's just sitting there. All these 4-star guys. Wait till we get to Ishmael Ibrahim. Ishmael Ibrahim deserves no scholarship. 4-star guy. You just got to stop worrying about the stars and the rankings. I don't buy it. You're 5 stars in high school, cool. That got you into the school. That got you a degree, or I'm sorry, a scholarship. That got you in the door. Now you're in the door, all them stars don't matter. Ask Cormani McClain what Mikey Matthews, how many stars Mikey Matthews has. Because that's a 3-star wide receiver at Utah that roasted that guy all week long at the Under Armour practice. All right, Chris, everyone CU lost was not that special. No, not necessarily. All these DB commitments give Hunter time on offense. This is true. This is true. You're replying to the wrong Chris. I hear you. Evening, Rico. I see Nico got picked up by KC as a returner. Hopefully he can make the squad. Okay. There we go. Nico Romeglio is who he's talking about. If you guys didn't know, Nico Romeglio, it's crazy that he can just say that and I know who he's talking about. Fresno State wide receiver, probably the 3rd best wide receiver on the team behind Jalen Moreno-Cropper, who's actually with the Cowboys and trying to make that team. And then you have Joshua Kelly up at Washington State. And then I have Nico skills-wise 3rd, but he's a good returnman, so hopefully KC can do something with him. Colorado had too many young players with little to no experience, a winning mindset after 1-11, hard to break. This is true, Francisco. When I first started looking at Colorado's roster, I saw 48 freshmen and only 13 seniors. That is indicative of Mel Tucker taking everybody with him when he left. Mel Tucker took a ton of players with him, and players left when he left. And 1 year later, Karl Dorrell had to just fill roster. So he was just taking every walk-on there ever was. He took every local guy and gave him a scholarship, right? There's no way some of these guys like Stacks or Styles, whatever his name is, should have had scholarships at the FBS level, at the Power 5 level for damn sure. And they're proving it. When you start seeing some of these kids in their offers, the people that are gone, people that have departed Colorado, those players, only about 6 or 7 are Power 5 caliber. And we've seen it. We see guys signing with Coastal Carolina. We see guys signing with SMU, Group of 5 school. We see guys getting offers from Utah State. And then every now and then you'll see a UCLA. You'll see Oregon State or an Oklahoma. It's going to happen. But for the vast majority of them, not very good. The only player in the secondary fans were kind of sad about was Nico Reed. I think they're over it now. Yeah, nobody was sad. It was just an acknowledgement that Nico Reed could play some football. But why is nobody talking about Kai when Kai left for Cal? Right? Kai Miller? What was his name? Not Kai. What's the kid's name? Who just transferred to Cal earlier? Tell me who it was. Tell me who it was. And nobody talks about him. Pac-12. Let me go to California. Let me go to the Golden Bears. And let me go back. It wasn't Kai Miller. That's their back. Kalen Moore. Kalen Moore. Nobody talks about Kalen Moore. And the reason you guys don't talk about Kalen Moore is because the vast majority of people who are talking about Colorado football weren't Colorado football fans before Coach Prime showed up. That's what it is. You guys don't know about Kalen Moore because he left the portal on the 8th. He committed to Cal on the 8th of December. And nobody knows who he is. You guys just don't pay attention. You guys are, and I'm not calling you guys out. I'm saying there are people who are pretending to be Colorado fans. But they're not. They're fans of Coach Prime. And don't confuse the two. And now the bandwagon is real. But for those of us who have been following, I've been following every single team in the country, so don't get it twisted. But I see a guy like Kalen Moore leaving Colorado and getting an offer at Cal. That, to me, is remarkable. Because the caliber of player leaving Colorado is not that good. You want another one? You want another one? Where's Let's go way back. Nobody talks about it. Who's the best lineman at Colorado? Who's the best lineman to leave? I'll wait. Because none of you guys are paying attention. You guys didn't know the team back then. I mean it. There's Casey Roddick right there. Casey Roddick's about to start at Florida State. No, not Travis Gray. Casey Roddick, going to go start at Florida State. He was at Colorado last year. We're not talking about some young guy who's never played that's 6'7", 300 pounds. That's not it, bruh. I'm trying to tell you. These guys hit the portal before Coach Prime ever even took over as the coach. There was players on this team. The guys that are leaving now are not the players. The players were before. The players are. Jake Wiley went to UCLA. It's difficult to convey this to you guys without feeling like I'm lecturing. I'm not trying to talk down to anyone. I'm trying to explain to people that you can't look at stuff in a vacuum. You got to look at it collectively. I look at it and I go, well, Mel Tucker's to blame. Karl Dorrell's to blame for the thin roster. It has to be. It ain't Coach Prime. Coach Prime showed up and said, what is all this mess in here? I got to get this out of here. You can't win with this. Okay. Let's get back to the chat. I apologize for getting distracted. You need dogs who are starving to play, not praying for redemption. This is true. Okay, I saw my name get highlighted. Don't know why. Hey, Rico, that Landon King, he might be committing to Colorado. Well, yeah, he came to visit. We know that. Zion, we know that. If he commits, he commits. But we know that. Coach Prime doesn't want a feel-good story. He wants, we're here now. You better get ready for this. Okay. Make sure you hit the like button. Thank you very much. The beautiful Kim Jones is in the house. Hey, I saw your TikTok. Thank you. Landon Key wants to play tight end via Brian Howell. Well, of course. Of course. What are your thoughts on CU's O-line right now? My thoughts are the offensive line is very good. My thoughts are the offensive line is almost spoken for, and they've probably got one tackle they're interested in replacing, and that's why, and that's it. Just one tackle. Outside of that, the starters are really good. Niles Gaddy committed to Missouri. Yeah, so Niles Gaddy actually coming out of high school was a Tennessee guy, transferred to Jackson State. And at no time did Coach Prime think about bringing that guy over. And I'm just assuming, but I haven't seen the offer. I never saw a discussion about it. And that tells me they were looking for a different caliber of student athlete. And so shout out to Niles Gaddy for going to Missouri. Hopefully he can contribute and play. He'll be in the rotation. CU lost out on Cameron. No, Chris. Colorado was never in the running for Cameron. Maybe the fans wanted Cameron, but Colorado was never a finalist for Cameron. Cameron was down to 2 schools for the last 2 weeks, and it was USC and Missouri, and that was it. He was not contemplating Colorado at all. So that's that. CU is in need of O-linemen. I don't know where this narrative is coming from. Before, I think when there was 46 guys in the portal, I double-checked. There were 15 offensive linemen on Colorado. They have 15 offensive linemen. I want to say they have 15, 16 offensive linemen on scholarship. All they need is one more tackle. And then, yeah, you want guys to rotate in. You want more depth. I got it. But the word need is being thrown around way too much. Need is a necessity for life. Like, I need to breathe. I need water. I need food. I would like money, but I don't need money. I would like companionship, but I don't necessarily need it. Well, maybe I do for mental stability. But you get what I'm saying? We need to stop using the word need so much. Need isn't it. It would be a luxury to have additional depth at the offensive line position, but the starters right now are pretty damn good. I think they're loading up to play DB. I think they're loading up on DBs to let Travis Hunter predominantly play offense. Let me tell you something, man. I believe that wholeheartedly. I made a video on this 2 months ago. No, a month ago. But it was on TikTok. I didn't post it on YouTube. And I talked about how I think Travis Hunter's not fast enough to play DB at an elite level. I think Travis Hunter's 40 time is a 4.6 range. I think maybe 4.55. That's fine. But that's not an elite corner with recovery speed. I think he's amazing with the ball in his hands. He has a great acceleration. I've been watching Travis play since his junior year in high school in person. I go catch his games in high school here in Georgia. And what I saw was a phenomenal wide receiver with body control and just a certain skill set others don't have. But when I look at him at corner, I see him getting beat. And that's the nature of the job, right? I've talked about this before. If you're a DB and you get beat, well, it's a touchdown. If you're an offensive lineman, you get beat, it's just a sack. It's just holding. If you're a defensive lineman, you get beat, it's just a first down. If you're a corner and you get beat, it's a touchdown. It's the luxury of the position, right? Unfortunately, it's the reality of the position. So I just think that Travis Hunter is an elite wide receiver. I think he's an elite player with the ball in his hands, for sure. Mel Tucker recruited 2 players drafted in the NFL this year, Christian Gonzalez and Mekhi Blackman. Hell yes, Christian Gonzalez. Hey, everybody talking about Christian Gonzalez in the draft. Didn't even know he played at Colorado. Didn't even know he was a scrub at Colorado for years. Transferred to Oregon and then got himself together. Nobody even knows about it. It's crazy. All right, maybe some people do. Does Cal move into your top 15 running back rooms? Not a chance. Come on now. No, that's not it. Not even close. That's 2 years in a row Colorado starting corners transferred out. Yep, happens. Which CU players in the portal Coach Prime really wanted them on the team? I don't necessarily know. I haven't asked Coach Prime. I don't know. I'm assuming, Montana Lominus Craig is one. Obviously. I'd say Tyson's another one. You don't want to lose certain players. You had to. You had to be consistent and just let them all go. I would say Tyus Martin surprised me. Obviously, Naeem Rodman surprised me. This was added depth. Joshua Wiggins actually got an offer. We'll talk about that later tonight. But, you get surprised here and there. But for the most part, some guys just had to go. And I was a Victor Vince supporter for many. I'm still am. I watched him play at Buford. I believe in the young man. I hope he gets I know he has an offer to Memphis and Middle Tennessee State and some other schools. So everybody's going to land on their feet to some degree. I'd imagine they didn't want Traore leaving. He just got reduced to 2 stars. He got reduced back to his high school rating. Shout out to 24/7 Sports for being ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Landon King has committed. Landon King has committed. Say what? Let me go check something real quick. Landon King has committed. Is this a fact? Breaking news. I hate breaking news when we're on here. He's set for a Louisville visit. Landon King, I don't think he's committed. I think these guys are just taking these pictures. I don't think they're committed. They're just posting the pictures from their trip. That's all I think it is. Buchanan and Landon King. I think they just posted these pictures on their trip. I don't know if they're committed or not. It's just their Twitter posting it. Yeah, we gotta slow down. I don't want to send any misinformation. I apologize. We can't do that. Just taking pictures in uniform, that doesn't mean they committed. 06 Academy has all defensive linemen, offensive. Yep, I'm aware of it. Takes depth to win games, though, because football is brutal and injuries are going to happen. No, it takes depth to get through a season. It doesn't take depth to win games. It takes starters to win games. It takes depth to get through an entire season. But you want to win a game, you just need to have the better players that day. They need depth badly. Every team needs depth badly. You guys are such naysayers. It's unreal. Colorado has 12 offensive linemen on scholarship and 4 walk-ons that returned. There you go. So 16. They got bodies for practice. The secondary is set. Playmakers all through the unit. Yep. I watched Travis. I've always thought he was a better wide receiver. Yep. Pardon me. Hey, Rico, you going live for the pay-per-view tonight? Probably not, Cade. Not at this rate. I don't know what time we're going to get done here. I might make it in time. Who can Arkansas add up to their secondary? I'll be talking about secondary players here shortly. Travis Hunter's a beast at receiver. 7-on-7 Cam Newton team. He was unstoppable. Yep, Travis got badly beat at Alcorn. Hey, there we go, Chris. You're paying attention. He got beat twice. Back-to-back plays. Who's going to start at Michigan State now? Who knows? I'm thinking CU may only need a more athletic left tackle. Savion Washington, and one more tackle. And I know they have one coming in. They had one on the trip. Watch my video from this morning. Little was there. Keon Coleman, 59 offers. No way Colorado gets him. Yeah, that's not even up for debate. I never even mentioned Colorado getting Keon Coleman. When I talked about Keon Coleman, I told you guys, he's either going to Florida State or he's going back to Michigan State. If he goes somewhere else, like LSU, more power to him. But there at no time is he contemplating going to Colorado. Sometimes you guys just hear names in the portal. You guys just start yelling out their name, and it's not even on their radar. It's just not a thing. Pardon me. Dickerson, is he even worth the scholarship? I don't know. Damn, Zico fumbled real bad by leaving. He probably ain't going to the NFL. He's got many years to figure that part out. Starters don't play all snaps, though. Shaking my head. Yeah, starters don't play snaps. Don't play all snaps. Yes, there's rotation. You guys got to remember this. I'm very aware, Dupree Hundo, and anybody else out there. I'm very aware of how football works. I watch more games than any human being. I know how it works. What I'm saying is we need to stop acting like it's the end of the world if you don't get a really good third-string running back. Everybody needs to relax. Going to restart the live and get caught up on the info. Yeah, you guys can restart the live, set the speed to 1.25, and go from there. Yeah, Savion Wilkerson is not a good running back for Colorado as far as the caliber of running back he is. You guys say his name because you're familiar with him, because he played at Jackson State. But the reality is when I watch the tape, he doesn't compare to some of these three-star guys that are available. He just doesn't. And that's why he doesn't have the offer. And that's why he's not in uniform. Now, if they go get him, it's a backup deal. Yes, he also got a pick 6 and receiving touchdown to win the game. Check the tape. Yeah, if you check the tape and you watch those plays, then you're being enamored with the flashing light. And I talk about those plays. I hope, Francisco Luciano, I hope you go find my video on TikTok. Because I literally break this down. And I show you some of the innate things Travis Hunter does. Meaning, innate means he was born with this skill set. He was born with this ability to read plays, jump routes on bubble screens, get through things and make plays. And it's incredible. And it looks part. And it's all shiny. And then I show you the reality of the situation where he's getting beat repeatedly by certain routes just because he doesn't have the right recovery speed or he doesn't have the right technique involved. And then the other team is exploiting it. So, yes, you can see the good plays. And they're explosive and they're great. But then there's moments where you got to pay attention when they're not great. And I like to look at all the plays. All of them. And I take my time with it. So, yes, we know he scored. We know he had a pick 6. But he also, you just got to understand. Pick 6 parts, those are explosive and those are great. But getting beat repeatedly because you don't have the recovery speed is something that's going to be there. And it's going to be a problem at the Power 5 level. That's how you go there. How do you think Cromartie will fare this year? I think he'll fare like every other true freshman corner. They struggle. They get overwhelmed with the speed of the game. They're too busy thinking and not reacting. There's going to be a ton of 4- and 5-star guys I show you on this transfer portal list that do not amount to anything. They don't amount to anything. Yeah, you think he will easily start as freshman? I think a lot of you guys are misunderstanding how it works. How it works. A lot of you guys are misunderstanding. Yeah, nothing's confirmed. We got it, Zion. They're just taking pictures. They're just taking pictures. Besides YouTube and Twitter. I'm sorry, I'm reading silently. I shouldn't do that. Yeah, you guys need to know that any singular game isn't an indication of anything to me. I need to see it consistently throughout your career, across multiple games, and that's how I make my assessment on things. Rebuild at Colorado if you had gotten the job, Rico. How would you have taken exactly what Coach Prime's doing? I do not think Cromartie starts as a freshman. If he does, they're giving him playing time, and he's earned it, but I don't think that that's realistic. I think a lot of people don't understand. I'm going to show you 4- and 5-star players who have not seen the field at their universities. And they're not major universities. Like, I can go in here, Tyreek Johnson could not see the field at Nebraska. 5-star guy. Couldn't see the field at Nebraska. Never saw the field. Avante Dickerson never saw the field at Oregon. It's like, you guys don't understand. 4-star guys and 5-star guys are everywhere. It's just some stars some website gave them. That's not helping them play football any better. That's not helping them tackle anyone or cover anyone or read defenses. People don't understand what we're talking about here. But if you're young and you're in the chat and you get excited about a recruiting class, then more power to you. But when I see a 4- and 5-star kid in a recruiting class, all I say is that's awesome depth. See him in 2 years. That's awesome depth. I don't get excited saying that guy's going to be a starter and be on the field and do all this stuff. It's just not going to happen. It just doesn't work that way. All right. I don't want to get upset because you guys keep spamming me with the same nonsense. It's crazy. Let's start hitting the list. Let's start hitting the list. Caleb Downs is starting. Caleb Downs looks like an adult NFL football player. Caleb Downs is NFL ready physically. Mentally, I don't know how he's doing, but physically, he's the real deal. You see, there you go, Tone White. I'm with you. You hope they bring in Stephen Wynn for a visit. Don't we all? It doesn't mean Stephen Wynn's interested. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. You guys see that list of names, and you're like, I hope they bring him in. Well, that's not going to happen. Certain players aren't interested. They're getting other offers. They're interested in other positions. They want to live in other places near their family, whatever. I wish. I hope. All right, let's go. Jalil let me move this real quick. I'm sorry, I got the chat in this window. I need to drag it out of the window. Give me a second, because I want to show you guys something. It's important I pull this up. It's important I pull this up. I'm going to keep the chat over here. You guys can see this. Okay. So the first guy on the list here is Jalil Tucker, 4-star corner, coming out of Oregon. Right? Jalil Tucker coming out of Oregon. Let me tell you something. He never played. Redshirted this year. I look at him and I say, why is he a 4-star? What makes him so great? They say he ran a 10.700 meters in high school. I guess that's fast. You guys see this down here, this 10.7 right here? It was wind aided. I went and looked it up. It's from his freshman year. He didn't get any faster. But when I watch him on tape, and I'll pull this up and I'll minimize myself. When I watch this guy on his tape, look what I see. Check this out. All I see is a guy that I'm not thoroughly impressed with. I just am not. That's a touchdown. Got it. Cool beans. This one doesn't matter. Is this his tape? This is his tape, right? Hold on one second. This better be his tape. I'll let you know right now. All he runs are fades. Why am I seeing a receiver, bro? And what part of this made them think he's a good corner? Every single play is just a straight streak, a fade. I see no ability to get in and out of cuts. I see no quickness or acceleration. Nothing here makes me think, oh, that'd be a really good corner. Like, I just watch him. He's just running post routes. Okay. But I don't see anything. I watched the whole tape, man. And I just feel like sometimes they just give out ratings. He played at Lincoln High School in San Diego. You know what it is? I'm watching the wrong tape. I'm watching his sophomore highlights. I guarantee you I'm watching the wrong tape. Oh, it's not good, guys. I watched it all. This guy will never be a player. I don't know where he's going. This is those 2020 recruits. They didn't look deep enough into these guys. I really don't like this kid. And I'm not saying I don't know him personally. I'm just saying I don't like the fact that they gave somebody a 4-star and they expected him to come in and contribute. And there's a lot of Oregon guys, sorry, my dog, that shouldn't be in here contributing like that. Stop it. Sit. Sorry about that. And they're going to just find themselves in the transfer portal, and somebody will sign them off of reputation alone. Somebody's going to sign them. Oh, look, we got a 4-star. We got to get him. And that's what all the fans do when you guys attack me. Hey, Rico, do you know this guy? Do you know this guy? And I just watched the tape. He looks like a wide receiver to me. Nothing about him says DB. Nothing. I'm gonna find the next one here. Who's the next one? Oh, now Traquan Fagan's here. Alabama. He transferred to Thompson his last year of high school. I gotta see the next time I want to show you guys this. So he transfers to Thompson his last year of high school, and goes and balls out, and gets on the radar. But I'm sorry, I saw chat move. But for me, they called him the next Dre Kirkpatrick. Dre Kirkpatrick. Huh. When I watch him, though, I like this kid a hell of a lot better than Jalil Tucker. This guy actually does press coverage, bump and run coverage. When Jalil Tucker gets in front of a guy, he gets in front of his face. He doesn't jam him at all. He's just close to him. He's just at the line of scrimmage, and he's just playing corner. It's man. You look like you're a shutdown corner. You're locking him down. You're in front of his face. You got your hands down by your side. You're right in front of him, and you're doing nothing. You don't reroute the receiver. You don't jam him. Yeah, I don't understand it. But Traquan Fagan's here. This man plays a whole lot of man. He's in there fighting for every yard, and he makes you wonder what the hell's going on. Okay? Now, he's got a brother who's really good, 2025 class. So I'm curious if they're a package deal or not. But for me, his huddle film looks so much better than a lot of these other guys. I really like this kid. He took a trip to UCF. So taking a trip to UCF, maybe moving to the Big 12, we'll see. I don't know where else he goes. But I actually think this is a Colorado caliber player. This is the type of guy you would want in your secondary for sure. Okay? Jalen Key here, UAB. So, safety. Jalen Key, he pops on tape to me. I watched tape of Starling Thomas V, right? He was in the draft, and he's currently with the Lions right now. Shout out to him. He didn't get drafted, but he runs a 4.240. He got clocked at 24 miles per hour. So I wanted to go see this speed and see it on the field, and I found it, and I made a video about it. I found a hidden gem for the draft, and I was like, oh, my God, this guy's amazing. Now, he didn't get drafted. He's with the Lions, which is pretty important because the Lions defensive backs coach that just got hired is Dre Bly. Donald Andre Bly. Dre Bly just left North Carolina and is at the Lions now as their defensive back coach, and he's going to be coaching them. So while I was watching film on Starling Thomas V, Jalen Key is right there. And now I'll explain this. Starling Thomas V was the senior. He was the state champ in the 100 meters. He's everything. He's Mr. Speed. Everybody knows him. And he had double-digit pass deflections last year. Double-digit pass deflections. No interceptions, though. Can't catch. No interceptions. Jalen Key, though, Jalen Key has interceptions. Okay, he has interceptions. So he's from Tallahassee. He was honorable mention from Conference USA. He was third on the team in tackles. And I just think he's a hell of a player. I really do. I think he's a ball hawk. Now, he announced his top 6, and his top 6 were Florida State, North Carolina, which is surprising to me, Ohio State, Alabama, Oregon, and Ole Miss. So nowhere in there does it say Colorado. But he's got a top 6 that's pretty impressive. So Florida State, North Carolina, Alabama, Ohio State, Oregon, and Ole Miss. He's going to pick one of them. He's a stud. This is a complete stud. Don't worry about it. See that? And you find these studs that are 3 stars. Better than everybody else. He's the number one desired defensive back in this entire list. No one cares how many stars he has. That dude's a player. And here's Travell Mullen. Maybe you know Travell Mullen. Maybe you don't. You should know his family. Anybody know his family? His cousin, Travell Mullen's cousin, is a guy named Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is Travell Mullen's cousin. His older brother is Trayvon Mullen. He played at Clemson, 2-time national champ. He was actually the MVP of one of the national championship games they won. His brother, Trayvon Mullen. He was drafted, I think, in the 2nd round by the Raiders. Played there for 3 years, played in like 30 games. Then he got traded to the Cardinals. And Trayvon gets traded to the Cardinals. After about 8 games, he gets cut. And I believe the Cowboys claimed him off waivers. That's right. And then the Cowboys let him go this last year, and he just re-signed a new deal. He's with the Ravens. He's with his cousin. So he's on the same team as the Ravens. That's his older brother. Travell's got another older brother. Well, so that's the oldest brother. Travell's got another brother. He was just in the draft this year. And Tywon Mullen. And they both played at Indiana together. And Tywon didn't get drafted. He's with the Chargers right now, trying out for the team for the mini camp or whatever. But this is such an athletic family. And Travell is the least athletic of all of them. He's I think he was a charity case to even get to Indiana. I wonder where he's going. I've looked at him. His offers are Bethune-Cookman, Austin Peay, UT Martin, Abilene Christian, stuff like that. So Travell Mullen is definitely FCS all the way. They were just letting him stay there because his brother was there. So he hits the transfer portal. He's got 4 years of eligibility left. More power to him. Remember, I go through 5 and then I get back to the chat. So if you got questions or comments, put it in the chat. I'll be getting over there shortly. And then we have Antonio Carter. And he's a very surprising prospect. Like, they're just blowing him up. He looks good on tape to me. He tackles really well. He looks like he can support and stop the run. He looks developed. He looks NFL ready. Antonio Carter II from Rhode Island. He's already got a Notre Dame offer. That's a big one. But he's got other offers. I know he has 17 pass breakups in the last 2 years. Guys, that's really impressive. But I like to see double-digit pass breakups. There's a guy, Elijah Huzzy. Elijah Huzzy, North Carolina, just got signed from East Tennessee State, right? ETSU. Elijah Huzzy in high school, he played quarterback at Heard County here in Georgia, 3A. Goes over there. He's a quarterback in high school, moves to DB, and he has double-digit pass breakups. He's just a ball hawk. So when I see FCS corners with double-digit pass break, and now Elijah Huzzy, he's now at North Carolina because they lost all their DBs. Man, I'll show you guys. I actually got it up over here. Look at this. North Carolina right here. You guys see this on the screen? Outgoing transfers. One corner. 2 corners, a safety, 3 corners, 4 corners, 5 corners, 6 corners, and another safety. 6 corners and 2 safeties leaving North Carolina, all because Dre Bly isn't there anymore. All because Dre Bly was their coach. Isn't that incredible? Isn't that incredible? They lost everybody. So Antonio Carter, he impresses me almost as much as Elijah Huzzie, almost. But he's probably gonna take that Notre Dame. I promise. And good for him. Go, do your thing, bro. Go get your offer you've been waiting for. All right, and we'll stop at Tavion Beasley here, Beasley, and I'll go back to the chat. Let's see what you guys are saying. Not everyone is interested, and not everyone fits. That's correct. Trucking with Tony, that is 100% correct. They don't all meet the standard either, right? A lot of these guys don't meet the standard in character. Rotational player. High school to FBS is different. I don't think people realize how many 4 and 5 stars don't pan out. It's an insane amount. It's a ridiculous amount of 4 stars that don't pan out. It's really, really tough. Even FCS. 4 stars transfer from FBS to FCS and end up riding the pine. Yup, Trucking with Tony. There's guys I'm going to be talking about and I'm going to be getting to here on this list here shortly. There are guys down here, 4 and 5 star dudes they're not worthy of anything. They can keep their stars. They earn their stars. They earned them at some camp somewhere. Somebody evaluated them a certain way, but they're not going to ever see the field. Some of them aren't good. And I've been doing every position group all week. So you can go back and watch all the other live streams. I did quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, offensive linemen, defensive linemen, linebackers. And in every single position group, there's a 4 or 5 star guy. I say, hey, this guy can't play football. Hey, I watched the tape. This guy is not it. And he'll never be it. He's been at a university for 4 years. Or he's transferred 3 times. That means 3 separate coaching staffs have evaluated you, looked at you, and said, you're not it. At some point, you're the common denominator with what's wrong. And they're going to point fingers and be like, I never got my chance. Okay, man. Well, maybe you need to do a different profession. Maybe you need to enlist in the Army, bro. You need to go get a job like everybody else and start paying taxes because this is not it for you. That's the reality of the situation. I definitely caught hell at Arkansas State my first 2 years. Yeah. Hey, I'm going to fix this. I don't want people to see this chat here and think that this is a fact. I apologize for jumping the gun. Jordan Buchanan took nice pictures, and I got excited. I can admit when I'm wrong. So let's not do that. Let me do this instead. Let's go hashtag Rico Knows. If you start searching hashtag Rico Knows all over the internet, you'll be straight. Oh, I should have put a space in there. Give me a second here. I'm doing this on the fly in front of you guys. This is crazy. Let's do that. And now let's drag that across the whole bar. Hey, who knows what we're doing? I might have messed all this up right here on the live in front of you guys. We'll just take it off. Don't worry about it. I can readjust that later. Okay, back to the questions. Sorry about that. Yeah, everyone thinks that because someone's a 5-star automatic plug and start. Yeah, not a chance. Also coming in summer late, they're a little behind. Not a little. Heard his little brother is better than him. Yep. When you're comparing 2 things, T-H-A-N, Zion, T-H-A-N. Just like everyone is hyped about Shiloh. Yes, Shiloh's a hitter, but he was a liability in coverage. Yeah, we can't have liabilities in coverage on the field. Any update on Franklin? Who's Franklin? If you had to say who was the best D1 DB last year. So last year, the best Division I defensive back for me was Marty Mappal, and I talked about it. Obviously, Witherspoon was the best corner, but for me, the best player was Marty Mappal. He got drafted in the 3rd round by the Patriots. Played at Sacramento State, FCS level. Dre Bly was badass. Of course. I think Shiloh can be fixed. Last year, he missed time nursing an injury. Should be better this year. Shout out to you. Tavion made a good decision. He'd be down the depth chart. Yeah, a lot of young players would be down the depth chart. Tavion's a redshirt sophomore or freshman? Be down the depth chart. You're a freshman. Somebody's got to be down this depth chart. Somebody needs to stick around and be down the depth chart. Tavion's going JUCO maybe. Go the FCS route. Yeah, definitely should go FCS. I'll talk about it in a few. Should have stayed at JSU. Always thought he was too small. When you write too, if you think somebody's too much or also, like I want to do that too, it's TOO, by the way. So he's too small, TOO. Even at JSU. Desmond Ricks looks promising. Okay, Zachary Franklin. Oh, okay. Yeah, no update on Zachary Franklin. He's going to take his time, bro. He's in no hurry. Wherever he goes, he's going to ball out. All right. Back to the list. I'll get back to the chat. Here we go. Tavion Beasley, no update. Comes from St. John Bosco, a trusted program, a trusted high school program, but there's no update on him specifically. I'm going to tell you that one of his recruiters works at Arizona now. So if he was to get an FBS offer, which is crazy, Arizona wouldn't surprise me, just so you know. Now here's Taylor Bright. Now, there's two corners, two DBs, a safety and Tyler Bright here. There's actually three DBs that left Georgia Southern this offseason. First, there was Derek Cantine. And Derek Cantine's a beast, double-digit pass breakups, and he left Georgia Southern in the winter, and he transferred to Virginia Tech. And he's going to be a starting corner at Virginia Tech. That's cool. And then out of nowhere this spring, two studs go and leave Georgia Southern. Okay, we know Cantine left to go get his big paycheck and his big day at Virginia Tech. Cool. But what are you guys leaving for? Anthony Wilson and Tyler Bright here. Now, Anthony Wilson went to Western Virginia. He went to Western Virginia. It's his final year. He wants to put something on to get to the pros. Okay, cool. Tyler Bright's got time, bro. Tyler Bright's got 2 years of eligibility left. This guy is a quality guy. Now, he's only 5'10", so he's a smaller corner. And I know they like these 6'1", 6'2 corners. But he's 5'10", and I think he's tough. When I see him on tape, he has a couple of interceptions, 40 tackles. He's just good. So he had a trip. He had a visit to Rice. He had a visit to – I know he's going on a visit next week to Minnesota. He had a visit to Memphis. But what you guys got to know is I was just talking about the breaking news updates. Minnesota just got a corner. So that might leave Tyler Bright out of a spot. And that's how that works. You got to pull the trigger early. Okay. Shout out to On3 for not knowing who the hell Jaden Williams is. He's already at Louisville. He's already out of the portal and at Louisville doing good. Cyrus Dumas just got a star as he transfers. I like Cyrus Dumas, y'all. I like him a lot. Cyrus Dumas, little dude, another 5'10 dude. 5'10", 170, but he's feisty. This guy should have went to Colorado. He's a little Tasmanian devil. But he's transferring from New Mexico State to UTSA, San Antonio. Go play with Frank Harris and the boys. He's a beast, man. This guy started JUCO, 2 years, JUCO. And he's been starting at New Mexico State for the last 2 years, and he's just been kicking butt and taking names. Started 12 out of the 13 games last year. I like everything about him. Here's the problem with him, though. He's 25 years old. Or he's 24, about to be 25. So he's just a little bit older. Just a little bit older. A little too old. And then here's Iverson Clement here. And Iverson Clement, very underwhelming when I watched him on tape. From Temple, I don't think he'll get us an offer anywhere. He's graduate transfer with 3 years of eligibility. He is from Jersey. He was a running back at Florida coming out of high school. He's still trying to be a running back or a corner. He doesn't know what he wants to be. He used to get some carries at Florida. Didn't do anything but get like one tackle at Temple. Or maybe he got, one tackle at Temple the whole time. His whole career, he has one tackle. So that guy just never amounted to anything. Akbar took a preferred walk-on at Pitt. I bet he regrets it. He took a preferred walk-on at Pitt when he had an offer to FIU. And this is what I'm talking about. This guy right here, Akbar, he's from Georgia. He's good friends with a guy named Chief Borders. I don't know if you guys know Chief Borders. Chief Borders, his dad, he's been getting raised by like every major head coach, and he's in the know, and everybody, and he's a good kid. 6'5", 240, linebacker. Went to Florida. He's chiseled and all this stuff. And he just transferred out of Florida to Nebraska. But he's never made the starting lineup. Chief Borders, 4 or 5-star kid. Everybody says he's so great. And he's never made the starting lineup anywhere. It's like he can't play football. He looks great. He knows how to work out, knows how to do things. And he was raised by so-and-so, and so-and-so is his grandfather or his godfather and his uncle. And it's just the who's. And what's crazy is you see a guy like Akbar and Chief Borders, they're taking pictures together. And Akbar will be damned if he goes to FIU. He's got to go to a Power 5 school. All his friends are going to Power 5 schools. And he'll go to a Power 5 even if he has to walk on. And he went to Pitt as a preferred walk-on. Never cracked it too deep. Just wasting money. And now he's transferring out. No offers. Like, what are we doing? I just wish people stop chasing that dream like that if you're not that caliber of player. Right? Is that 5 right now? I just did 5 quick ones. I'll do Tyreek. Hey, Tyreek Johnson, 5-star. Everybody's like, oh, we got a 5-star in the portal. So he started his career at Ohio State. So, of course, he had 5 stars. I think he was there for 2 years. No, yeah, 2 years. And then he went to Nebraska. He played in 2 games at Nebraska. Red flags everywhere, bro. He's just off the team. He's just gone now. He's not there anymore. Can't play at Nebraska. Couldn't make the starting lineup. Couldn't do anything. I looked for him, and he's 6'1", 180. I looked for the tape on him and everything. It's just all hype. Couldn't play anywhere. Every time he goes somewhere, no, and he's in the portal. No offer in the world. And it's gonna be like that. Demario Tate, I'll do it. Demario Tate, 5 stars. I already said it earlier. The number 1 recruit that Florida State has gotten since 2017. The highest rated player Florida State's gotten since 2017. Can't see the field. Nobody. No offers, no nothing. There's nothing anywhere. It's just crazy. You know what it is? He's one of those 2020 recruits. And you got to be weary of the 2020 recruits. They're the ones when COVID was striking. They're the ones, COVID was going down, and coaches couldn't go into homes. Coaches couldn't go to schools. Everybody was quarantined. So all these 2020 recruits, you didn't get to dig a little deeper and learn about them. You didn't get to learn their ins and outs, their do's and don'ts, what they do right, what they do wrong. And some of them can't play football. And Demario Tate's one of them. He literally, no offers, never saw the field, just never contributed to much. And there's better players from Florida State. Look at this. Down here, Travis Jay actually plays. He's actually the first decent of all these 5 stars in Florida. He's the first decent one you're going to come across. Because Avante Dickerson is in the same boat as this Jalil Tucker dude. They're just not it. Avante Dickerson's from Omaha, Nebraska. Played in the smallest level of football. I think like single A or 2A. The smallest level, single A, for sure. And the only thing they like about him is that he's got a 6'4" wingspan. So he's 6 feet tall, but he's got a 6'4" wingspan. So they assume, oh, he can play ball. That's how you get your 4 stars. Run a 10.9 700 meters, and have a 6'4" wingspan. And it don't matter if you can play football. All right, this is ridiculous. All these guys can't play football. All these guys, nobody's chomping at the bit to offer them a damn thing. I looked everywhere. Nobody's offering these guys. Nobody. I think Avante Dickerson does have 3 offers. One's Minnesota. They're offering every DB. One's Wisconsin. And one's Indiana. And Indiana just lost the guy, right? Travell Mullen. So Indiana, Minnesota, Wisconsin, all the teams in the Big Ten offering him. There you go. Travis Jay looks like a guy that should be playing at Colorado. I saw an interview of his. He's like, yo, I'm laid back. I'm just a joker. I'm just laid back. But he has interceptions in every single season. He contributes and plays. I like the kid. He looks sharp. Oh, and he's 6'2", 200 pounds. He's ideal size, and he plays. Now, I don't know about this 4 years. Yeah, I saw him. I think he has 2 years because he's played 3 years. So that's something else. All right, we're going to stop on Noah Pola Gates here and go back to chat. Let's see what's up. So all of them are taking pictures for their visit for CU. Yeah, they're just taking pictures. Georgia Southern, a good program. Yeah, trying to do great things. Something really cool about Georgia Southern is they finished last year with the 5th leading passer in the nation, and nobody paid attention. Like, they had a kid transfer in from Buffalo, and he was the 5th leading passer in the nation. And that's why all these quarterbacks are transferring into Georgia Southern. They're like, man, Clay Helton is throwing the rock like crazy. They also got a running back I really like. There's a running back at Georgia Southern. He's a fresh sophomore coming up, sophomore. His name is Omari Arnold, O.J. Arnold. And he played at Brooks High School here in Georgia Small school, 2A, single A, whatever it was. And if you go to that GPB Sports, like I showed you guys at the beginning of the stream, you scroll down far enough, you will find Brooks high school games. And you'll see Omari Arnold. Now, he goes by OJ. Anytime I see a running back and he goes OJ Arnold, and he took over, there's Jalen White as the starting running back, and then you got Omari Arnold was third string at the beginning of the year. He eventually became second string. And Gerald Green eventually transferred to East Carolina. Omari Arnold is fun to watch. O.J. Arnold's a nice running back. I like him. So shout out to him. And Georgia Southern throws the ball a ton, but they got a good running back that I like to go watch. I'll go watch him in person. What's going on with Anthony Robinson out of the JUCO school? I got nothing for you, Chris. I got no update there. Bishop Thomas is supposed to be in Colorado this weekend. Let me tell you, Matt Agnew, are you not watching my content? I talked about all 10 players that are visiting Colorado. I made a video this morning. It's a live stream. Go watch it. I talked about all 10 players, broke them all down, gave you their history, how they fit in for Colorado, which guys I think are good, which ones I don't like. Did the whole video this morning. It's about 2 hours long. These kids got to be humble. Well, humble, hungry. It is what it is. What you got on Stephen Wynn? I got nothing extra on Stephen Wynn. Stephen Wynn's a defensive lineman. I'm not talking about defensive linemen. I'm talking about defensive backs. I talked about Stephen Wynn last night. Go watch the film, or yesterday. Go watch the film, please. I've been out of college for 20 years. I'm in the portal. Got a few visits lined up. There you go. Shout out to you. Hit the likes. Thank you for the likes, guys. Portal Purgatory. Do these guys think they're coming in? Well, hopefully, Leon, the question is, do these guys think they're coming in to start or they're willing to be a role player? Well, Leon, I'd assume coaches are very transparent and honest with the players. You got to get these kids in. You know, I was just quoting about one of these offensive linemen that signed with Georgia, and he's in the portal 1 year later. And I went and found a story where when he signed from high school, Kirby Smart told him, hey, you're a once in a 10-year player. We don't see players like you but once in 10 years. And that must mean Kirby just doesn't ever want to see that kid again because he lied to him about his talent level just to get him to sign. I'm hoping coaches don't have to lie like that. Tell the truth. I hope that none of these players come in with the thought that they're not going to start. Come in and think you're going to start. Compete to be a starter. That competitive nature and drive is important. Now, the sad reality is you're not going to. But in college, second stringers play a lot of football. Every single second stringer plays a lot of football. Defensive linemen, you're running 6 to 8 of those guys every game. Linebackers, you're running at least 5. Corners, rotating a ton in. Everybody's playing. So you need to have a certain amount of depth and you're too deep. Backup quarterbacks don't play. Some backup offensive linemen don't play unless there's an injury. But outside of that, everybody else is there. So get serious, get ready. Who excites you the most as a complete team next year in FBS? So I'm excited for a couple of different things. That's a great question. So because I follow the transfer portal and because I look at teams and how they're rebuilding, I'm going to show you guys. Within my grading sheet and my data, let me pull it up here. Where did I put it? Maybe it's in this one here. Let's go. Here we go. Oh, you guys can't see that. I'm working on something. I work on a lot of little projects I don't want you guys to see. Transfer portal rankings. Here we go. So the teams that I'm most excited about watching next year are going to be towards the top of this chart. So I'm curious to see how much Charlotte improves, having signed, it's now over 30 guys, having signed 30-something guys from the transfer portal. I'm curious to see if Biff Poggi can flip that roster with nothing but guys from his old high school, right? It's hilarious to me. So shout out to St. Francis Academy and everything they're doing at Charlotte. I'm excited to see if UMass flips it with 19 guys. I want to see their improvement. Texas State excites me immensely. SMU. So these top 5, I really care about. I really care about these top 5. Outside of that, the rest of these teams are all about certain individual players I'm interested in. How they pan out at their new school. I would say I'm interested in New Mexico State. See, I watch obscure football, guys. I watch other things because the Power 5 doesn't intrigue me in the slightest. I watch every Power 5 game for the last 20 years. I don't care. It's boring to me. I'm just watching the same dudes. And so now I have something in common with Billy at the bar, and we can talk. And he'll be like, hey, man, what are you doing about? Yeah, Roll Tide. And I'm just like, get away from me, dude. Get away from me. You know, I was watching a post earlier today, and this guy was talking about the most successful programs in Alabama. It was on TikTok. And he put up his list of the most successful schools in Alabama. Number 1, Alabama. Number 2, Auburn, right? Number 3, he put UAB. And then he put Alabama State or something like that. You know what happened, bro? He left off Troy. He left off one more. He left off Troy for sure. Who was the other one he left off? It was insane. I was like, how do people think like this? He didn't even know there was other schools. He just missing them. Just missing them. Who was it? Who was the other school? I said, get the hell away from me. And that's my point, is I get excited about other things. So I'm excited about UTSA and Frank Harris. I want to see his whole season. So I'm excited about a lot of Group of 5 schools. When it comes to the Power 5, Louisville really excites me next season. I want to see what Jeff Brom does. I'm excited for Louisville and Wisconsin. Want to see what happens. I'm excited to see Caleb Williams, see him run the table, stuff like that. Let's see here. Have you looked at any Austin Simmons tape by chance? Not that I recall, but I could be wrong. I'd have to see his face. It'll trigger me. OJ is more of a slasher back. Yeah, he was killing it every chance he got. I apologize if you talked about this already. It's no problem. I just hope that these players are realistic because a lot of them just not it. Yep, it happens. Hey, Rico, what's your assessment on Roderick Ward? I don't have any assessment on Roderick Ward. Apologies. I'll owe you an answer, Zion. Georgia and Alabama in the college football playoff, maybe USC and Michigan. It's always the same schools. Yeah, Chris, I don't know. What you're doing is you're trying to predict who's winning conferences. When you start naming schools like that, you don't understand what you're saying. What you're saying is the ACC champ will not be in there, and that's absurd because what if they go undefeated and win the ACC, whoever it is? At that point, all the schools you just mentioned don't mean anything. Same with Alabama and Georgia. So it's not what it is. Jacksonville State, it's an FCS school in Alabama. No, Jacksonville State is not an FCS school in Alabama. It's an FBS school. They play in Conference USA this year coming up. Did anybody commit yet, Coach Bryant? They all took a lot of pictures. Nobody's come out and said they committed. Would you be open to sharing the math behind your madness? Also, who do you have, Sterling or CCC? I'm like, Triple C. I want them to both lose. I want them to both lose. So the math behind my madness on my chart, I don't want to get into the formula. There's an impact score over here, and all this impact score does, and there's an impact score, and I just do a bunch of different formulas. If you're looking up here, it's a bunch of different formulas and then numbers. What I'm doing is I'm trying to tell you the level of impact the transfers will have on your win total or how you perform next season. For example, I'm not evaluating the caliber of the transfers. For example, Georgia. Georgia signed 3 guys. I guess all 3 are going to start. Smoke Bowie and your 2 wide receivers, right? Coming over from you got Ra dropping the charges and who's the other kid from Missouri? Forgetting his name right now. You know, Lockett. Whatever his name is. Who cares? The point is those 3 guys have little to no impact on the outcome of their season. And that's what this is saying when I do this. It's a -1 impact. That means nothing. They have a far greater impact in the fact that they lost younger, talented depth at certain positions. And that's the 14 seasons of production that they've lost. And that's why they're a -1. So it's just a different approach to how I'm evaluating the transfer portal. I don't just look at your gains. I actually do a net gain. I look at your departures and your gains. And I do it a lot more refined than what On3 and these other guys have been doing. So that's how that goes. Roderick Ward is a redshirt junior from Southern Utah. Thought you would have something on his game tape. So I don't watch FCS football unless they transfer to the FBS level. and then I go back and watch all their games. I do not have time to watch FCS football unless it's the playoffs or they're transferring to the FBS level. Sorry about that. No, they just got there, brother. This will be their first year winning history-wise. Not sure who you're talking about, Pip. Oh, you're talking about Jacksonville State. Yeah, we know. We're good. We know it's an FCS school. They couldn't compete for the conference championship this year because they had declared their 85 scholarships, right? 63 scholarship limit at the FCS level. Jacksonville State went up to 85 this year. Therefore, they couldn't be in the playoffs in the FCS, and they couldn't compete for their conference championship because they had 85 scholarship players this last year in preparation for moving to the FBS. I'm going to be the Rico Nose of the UFC. Wish me luck. Shout out to you, Cade. Good luck. I just wish you luck. All right, back to the list, and we'll get back to chat. Who did I talk about? Oh, Noah Pola Gates. Do you guys see this Noah Pola Gates here? 4-star guy coming out of high school. Everybody says, let's get this guy. Look, I don't think he can play football. He's from Arizona. He's an Arizona kid. He goes to Nebraska. He's one of those recruits that Scott Frost got. And Scott Frost, you're going to see, he missed a lot on his recruits. He missed a ton on them. He signed the 5-star kid. That didn't work out, right? Tyreek Johnson, not good. And now you have Pola Gates, not good. Been there 4 years, played in 20 games, and he got 4 tackles. In 4 years, he got 4 tackles. This guy's not it. Special teams only. Now, do you see that Pola part of his name? The Pola? That's short for Polamalu. His uncle is Troy Polamalu. He's the nephew of Troy Polamalu. He is not Troy Polamalu. I don't know what happened. I'm assuming it's from his mom's side. And this kid didn't get any of those genes. He is not Troy Polamalu, but that is his uncle. So shout out to him. They probably offered him off the pedigree alone, and that's what it is. Now, Ja'Qurious Conley. I actually like Ja'Qurious Conley a lot. He's a good player, very physical, looks great on tape. Problem, major knee injury. This is how you get a 4-star safety in the portal. Major knee injury. Tore his MCL and ACL at the same time. He got surgery 10 days later after the injury, but at the time of his injury, he was 3rd on the team in tackles. This is back in 2021. He missed the whole season trying to recover from this. But he was 3rd on the team in tackles when he got injured. He was tied with Cam Kelly. Cam Kelly just transferred to Penn State. That's how good Ja'Qurious was before the injury. I'm just hoping he gets back. And once again, all the North Carolina DBs bounced because Dre Bly left. So it is what it is. He was a good player once. I just don't know if anybody wants to give a guy a scholarship with injury issues. He's probably going to have to go a different route. Not Power 5 route. Maybe. We'll see. And then there's Ishmael Abraham here. And Ishmael Abraham does not deserve a scholarship at any university. I don't care. He has 3 years of eligibility left. He was arrested in September for assault on his girlfriend, assault causing bodily injury, family violence. The charges were eventually dropped. The victim would not testify. How fitting. Before that, he was suspended. The year before, he was suspended because he was charged and accused of revenge porn. He had a girlfriend or a girl he was sexually, involved with at Oklahoma State University, and he posted some stuff online. So this guy's decision making is ridiculous. Striking and hitting a woman, ridiculous. I don't think he's fit for college athletics. I think he needs to find a different way of life, and I hope he grows up. But I'm not here to give people like this a second chance. I mean it. That's another 2020 recruit, guys. Those are those guys you couldn't vet properly, and you went and recruited them. So he's out there waiting for a scholarship, and he can keep waiting, as far as I'm concerned. Tyus Fields, ODU. Here's one of those 4-star guys you guys are all talking about. 4 stars, went to Tennessee. Couldn't see the field. His father played in the NFL for like 9 years. And his father was a 2-time Pro Bowler, linebacker. Was it Mike Fields? I think it's Mike Fields. Mark Fields. Mark Fields Sr., because Mark Fields Jr. played at Clemson, his brother. So you got all these guys playing at big schools. And Tyus Fields gets a 4-star rating because he comes from a 4-star caliber family, apparently. Everybody's getting all these 4 stars from the family. Dad was NFL, brother played at Clemson. Tyus Fields is not that caliber of player. He's little. He's 5'10", 185. He couldn't play at Tennessee, transfers to ODU, and found out he couldn't play at ODU. So where the hell is he going to go now? He could not see the field on one of the worst teams in the FBS last year as far as secondary goes. This guy is not built for it, man. So Tyus Fields, a 4-star player. Don't get excited about a 4-star player in the portal. He is not him. Another 4-star player in the portal, Tony Davis. In 4 years, Tony Davis played 73 plays for Duke. 73 plays. In 9 games, 3 tackles. Just been there 4 years. Got his degree. He's a graduate transfer. Not a football player. Not a football player. Maybe a future coach. Maybe a future coach. I don't see who gives him that offer. Henry Gray, 4 stars, FIU. Everybody, oh man, we got a 4 stars. He was at Nebraska. Another Scott Frost miss. Scott Frost was recruiting the hell out of Florida for whatever reason. He was using his UCF pipelines and trying to get players. And Scott Frost went out and got Henry Gray, and he flopped, went home to FIU, and guess what he did at FIU? Couldn't play there either. Another 4-star kid. Couldn't start at Nebraska, couldn't start at FIU, one of the worst teams in the FBS. Where does he go from here? I don't know. He's just not it. Jelani Williams. He started 2 games last year. Jelani Williams started 2 games last year, 22 tackles. I'm going to say this about Jelani Williams. Among all these 4 stars we have, he played a little bit of football. He's a little better than the rest, as far as I'm concerned. And that's why he's committed to Kent State. So he got an offer to the MAC. So you leave the SEC. You guys can see an SEC corner or safety with 4 stars, and you're like, man, Colorado needs to get him. That is a Kent State caliber player. That is a MAC player. They're giving out 4 stars to anybody. Damon Harmon, I like the kid a lot. Damon Harmon, 4 stars. Get excited about Damon Harmon. I personally think Colorado should be interested in him. Played a lot of football. 291 snaps last year. He was contributing like crazy. The only reason he's in the portal is Oklahoma signed the best safety in all of high school football last year, or one of the best, right? You got Caleb Downs and then Peyton Bowen. So this is a move where this kid right here is going to get some real offers. This kid's going to get real offers. I don't know where he's going, but he's better than all the other 4-star busts. So Jelani Williams played some football, goes to Kent State, but this man right here, this is a legitimate football player. I actually think he could play. Let's go to Jonathan Flo. Jonathan Flo, Upland High School. Upland, California, born in Chino Hills, California. You know his brother, Justin Flo. Is it Justin? Yeah, Justin Flo, right? His brother? 5 stars. Justin Flo, 5 stars. Just transferred to Arizona. Just left Oregon. Going to Arizona. See how they have him at 100% to go to Arizona? I don't think he's been offered by Arizona. Jonathan Flo is not a good football player. You know what's crazy? Let me show you guys something. Here's his profile at Oregon. He's 6'1", 210. He reminds me of one of the Ball brothers, right? They come from Chino Hills. They come from Chino, the Ball brothers. Only these are these Flo brothers, not nearly as talented or as accomplished. But you want to see a guy who peaked in high school. I have never seen a high school bio this long for a guy who's never played a down of Oregon football. Never played a down of FBS football. Look at this. He peaked in high school, bro. I'm getting individual sacks and tackles and numbers. Against Etowanda, he finished with a sack and 6 played, and he played 10 games played. And dude, stop it, bro. 3 tackles for loss here as a sophomore. Bro, stop it. Stop trying to sell me on how great this kid is. He can't play. He can't play football. Now that his brother's transferred out and left, he's gone. The linebacker coach left. New DB coach is in. He's from Colorado. This kid can't play football. I'm telling you. This kid can't play football. You said Justin did play at Oregon. Chris Brown, maybe you're not understanding me. Justin's a good football player. Justin transferred to Arizona. Justin is not a charity case. Justin's a 5-star that played. This guy's name is Jonathan Flo. Tonight's topic is defensive backs. This kid can't play. At no point did I say Justin can't play. Please understand. They get hyped off of nonsense, bro. Let's go to Cam Johnson here. Cam Johnson's the next one. What's my next thing? Oh, this is the tackles. I was looking for this kid to see if he made any tackles at Oregon. Never made a tackle in his life. There's Justin Flo. Justin played. Justin made 35 tackles. Justin's fourth among linebackers in tackles. Fourth. They lost the linebacker coach. He wanted to roll out. He's going to Arizona. Cool. But his brother can't play football. Brother's not it. I'm convinced. I've looked at all the tape. Trust me, I went back and looked at all the games, and I'm like, man, this guy can't play football. Cam Johnson, leaving Virginia Tech. This is significant. Let me tell you why. This puts Virginia Tech under the 85 scholarship limit. So now they got an extra scholarship out there. This move right here, Cam Johnson leaving Virginia Tech, puts him underneath there. Now, Cam Johnson was playing football. He's got 4 years of eligibility left. He played in 2 games, then he got injured, then he missed the whole season because of it. He's from St. Francis, right? St. Francis Academy in Maryland. But he's really young and new. He didn't play for Biff Poggi. But I would imagine this kid's got an offer out there from Charlotte just waiting for him, if he wants it. I would imagine so. All right. I'll stop right there before we go back to Dink. I'll come back and look at the chat. Let's see what we got. So Tommy Waugh is deciding between Colorado and West Virginia for his commit. That is correct, Zion. Talked about it this morning. Shout out to you. So has Colorado brought in overall more better players than those who transferred out? Chris, it's not even close. It's not even close. The players that transferred out are not comparable by any means. Colorado has brought in, obviously you saw my chart, the impact of the players they've brought in is insane. It's absurd. They've brought in, it's not even debatable. They're not even comparable, the players they brought in versus who's left. And the number one position there is quarterback. Shedeur Sanders is so much better than any quarterback they had on the roster. It's embarrassing. So, and then from there, every single skill position. Rico is a UFC expert as well. Yep, I used to be an MMA fighter and coach, martial arts instructor. I could do it for a living, so yes. Chris, they have definitely brought in better players. This year's transfer portal, yep, the roster was last year's. Yeah, and being 1-11 isn't just indicative of the players, it's also the coaches. So there's a huge upgrade in coaches, there's a huge upgrade in players. That's why it's so drastic. The coaches that were 1-11 are gone. The players that were 1-11 are gone. We can stop talking about 1-11. They're not 1-11. These are entirely different coaches and players that have no understanding of being 1-11. That's not who they are. And people need to grasp that. Oh, they're going to improve. No. They're totally different people. Get what I'm saying? Yeah, you get what I'm saying. Like somebody, I don't want to use an analogy. I'm good. Everyone loves Louisville, I see. Yeah, Chris, it's not that we love Louisville. It's Jeff Brom, bro. Jeff Brom's a mastermind at offense. Jeff Brom is the truth when it comes to coaching offensive players and schemes. He's the reason Western Kentucky is what it is. Jeff Brom. I'm a golf, tennis, chess, and bird watcher expert. All right, Willie Bobo. Willie Bobo is a golf, tennis, chess, and bird watching expert. Those are all very boring, bruh. You might be the only person watching those 4 things. So, yeah, it's easy to be the expert. Rico, not to go off script, but do you agree with private high schools being in national top 25s? Who do you believe is the number 1 public high school? I think it is Duncanville. It is definitely not Duncanville, Jim Vaz. Corona Centennial. First and foremost, yes, I agree that private high schools and public high schools are in the same polls, same top 25s. It bothers me none. I don't care about recruiting. You know what? Public schools recruit like crazy. There are transfers all over the city. I see it every year here in Georgia. There'll be a star player at a small school. Next thing you know, he's at Grayson. JoJo Stone's a prime example. Hell, Justice Haynes just transferred from Blessed Trinity to Buford, the state 7A state champs. It didn't work out for them. They didn't win state. But I see star players transferring all over the place. Don't care. Public schools transfer everywhere. But here's the deal. Corona Centennial is the number one public high school across the nation year in and year out. It really is, on average. And the way I come to that conclusion is I see Corona Centennial play Mater Dei, and they're not outclassed. They lose, but they don't lose. Duncanville played Mater Dei and lost 45-3. You can't be the best public school losing 45-3. There are other public schools playing Mater Dei not losing like that. That's the reality. So, no. Best public schools, I like a lot of kids in Texas. I like a lot of kids in Georgia, school-wise. I like a lot of schools in Florida. But when you start looking at it, and I could pull it up one day. I can do a whole video on this. I've done a lot of research on it. It's just not comparable to what Corona Centennial was, and what they're doing. Corona Centennial is a beast of a school, and shout out to them for staying relevant for X amount of years. It's a beautiful campus. Their players don't always pan out at the next level, but my goodness, are they great in high school. Justin did play at Oregon. Yep, tracking. Yeah, these guys get hyped up in high school but do nothing in college. Well, they do something. Jackson Mitchell had 140 tackles, yeah. How would you grade Jadis Richards from Vanderbilt University? I'm actually going to talk about him coming up. You know, I thought he played as a true freshman. He had a start, and I feel like Vanderbilt wasted a year of his eligibility. for Jadis Richards. He played at Vanderbilt. He did well. He did okay, but not good enough to where we should use his eligibility. I would have just played him 4 games and then saved that year of eligibility. The fact that last year counted against him is a tragedy because the kid's good. Anytime you're starting a game your true freshman year in the SEC, I think you're a pretty good player. I don't care what team you're on. I think you're pretty good. So shout out to you for even knowing who he is, Zion. I appreciate you. All right. Back to the list. Dink Jackson. It says Marshall here. Dink Jackson, not from Marshall. Where did he go? Well, he's from Melbourne, Florida. I know that. I go to Melbourne, Florida all the time. I go on vacation. It's just south of Cape Canaveral, just south of, I think, Cocoa Beach. And I go to Melbourne, Brevard County. I like that area. I think I want to retire there forever. I'm going to go on vacation there at the end of the month. I'm taking Kim Jones with me on vacation. We're going to go see the Florida for a little bit. But Dink Jackson, if I remember correctly, he was committed to Florida. And right before he's about to commit to Florida, he goes and signs with Ole Miss. And he's at Ole Miss for 8 months, does nothing there. Transfers out, goes to Marshall. Been at Marshall, does nothing there. I don't know if this kid can play football. I don't know what he can do, but you know what he should do? He should go to Georgia Southern. They just lost a bunch of safeties, lost a bunch of players. It's right up the road. Georgia Southern's pretty much a straight shot up 95 from Melbourne. I've made that drive many times, Melbourne to Statesboro. So, it's not that bad of a drive. It might take them about 5-6 hours. Your family can come see you play. I think you should go to Georgia Southern. They need safeties. But Dink Jackson always saw himself as a big school guy, 4 stars. Everybody talked about him, all this stuff. And he was trying to go to the SEC, Ole Miss, this, that, Florida, this, that. And you end up not even able to start at Marshall. That's the reality of 4-star players out there. And there's a lot of them like that. So, it is what it is. This one's a little crazy. Trajan Williams left the team. He didn't enter the transfer portal and then leave. No. He left the team. And I don't like players who leave their team. Quit on their teammates, quit on themselves, just leave in the middle of the season or at the end of the season. It's just a negative stigma. It's a red flag. It's like people who quit jobs, right? I want to hire you for my next job, but where'd you work before and what'd you do? Oh, you quit? Oh, never mind. You quit your job? I'm not hiring you. If you quit your last job, I'm not hiring you. I want to call your last job, and I want them to be your reference, and I want them to say something positive about it. Now, maybe there was a personality conflict. Maybe. But find a different way. Trajan Williams quit on Oregon. He quit on Oregon. He left the team. And the thing about it is, you know why he's able to do that? Because he's an in-state product. He grew up in Oregon. He lives down the street, whatever it is. He could just go home. He just quit and just go home. So where does he transfer from here? I don't know. 4-star guy, but you quit the team. I don't know where you go. I can't vouch for you. Never played. Nothing special about him. It is what it is. Before I go back to the chat, let me go through this. So Kewan Markham, he and his brother Keon Markham, they're not available. They're at La Tech. This is ridiculous. Jeremiah Caldwell, he just committed yesterday or 2 days ago. I can't remember where it was off the top of my head. It'll be on a tracker somewhere. I'll pull it up. Hey, look, stay away from guys like this. Anthony Rose is sitting here 4-star. From the SEC, 4-star South Carolina. Got suspended from the team. He's in the portal now, but nobody knows what's going on with him. Got suspended from the team. There's nothing else to him. Josh Motton. That almost looked like the other Moten kid from Florida, right? Josh Motton is a criminal, guys. Josh Motton's been arrested twice. I think he just committed to Marshall. Speak of the devil. Marshall, yeah, he's committed to Marshall. Marshall's taking anybody, bro. Josh Motton committed to Marshall. He's been arrested for numerous things. I think he's been arrested like 3 times while he was at Texas A&M in 1 year. Red flags all day. Let me keep going down here. Michael Daugherty. That's a very interesting one. Michael Daugherty, 3 stars. LSU, Grayson's finest, right? Just out of high school. If you guys didn't know, he just enrolled at LSU early. The high school kids, they graduate early and they show up in Christmas. He showed up in Christmas, and 2 weeks on campus at LSU, he jumped in the transfer portal. He can't play this year. He's going to have to redshirt, but he won't be eligible to play. But he jumped in the transfer portal 2 weeks after getting to LSU. I don't know what he plans to do. No hard feelings to the kid. There's a ton of his high school teammates are committed to LSU as well. There's a ton of kids in the area committed to LSU, so I don't know what that's about, but more power to him. I think that's a crazy one to me. It's unfortunate for the kid. Let's see here. Keep going. Dylan Dixon. Did Dylan Dixon get it? No, it was Keyshawn Mills. It wasn't him. Somebody asked me about this guy last night. Where is he? Wiggins. Where's Wiggins? Joshua Wiggins. Joshua Wiggins went on a recruiting trip to Liberty this weekend, and he already went on a recruiting trip to La Tech. So Joshua Wiggins looks like he's going to get himself a Group of 5 deal. But once again, and Jason Oliver's still waiting on one. So when people ask me, did they get better players than what's left? Well, you tell me, because these players are transferring to Group of 5 schools at best. The players that have departed Colorado are going to Group of 5 schools. That's all I'm saying. So there we go. All right, so we're going to wrap this up. I'm going to go back to the chat. If you have any questions before we call it a night, it's already 9:40 at night. If you have any questions, put it in the chat so we can get to it. We're running out of time here. And other than that, thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate everybody. Appreciate the follows or the subscriptions, the thumbs up and the likes. And we're going to keep doing this. So every time I jump on here, I can see a couple hundred people, or at least 100. I appreciate it. It's nice to know I'm not talking in an echo chamber anymore, just talking to myself, hoping somebody believes in me. It's like I'm like that freestyle rapper, bro. I can freestyle for days. I really can. I can really spit. And I'll be in the car driving and just be rapping for like 20 minutes. And I think, man, I wish somebody heard that. I wish somebody heard me just spitting these bars. But there's nobody here to see it. There's nobody here to see the greatness. And I'm like, damn, I wish somebody saw that one. And then when it comes to sports, I feel the same way. I have certain takes that I wish people knew about and I could say to people. And now I have that opportunity. And now you guys don't miss it. So it's pretty cool. All right, let me get back to chat here and see what we got. Primary recruiter is now at CU. Okay, Prime should take a look at him. Yeah, for sure. I'm not going to pretend, Zion, like I didn't notice that. That's why I knew everything about Richards, is because I searched for his recruiter. Or I go through recruiters when I look at players. So I did that already. So shout out to you for connecting the dots there. That's pretty cool. Does Shedeur Sanders have a chance at the Heisman? Can he throw for 4,000 yards? No. No. You need to compare it to Cam Ward. Cam Ward threw for more yards at the FCS level in a higher competition than Shedeur Sanders. Okay? Cam Ward is the prime example of what we're looking for. Football. So if you ever wanted to compare stats side by side, let me show you guys. So Cam Ward at the FCS level, he threw for 4,600 yards, 47 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. And this is at UIW. This is the best FCS schools out there. And he dominated at this level. Transfers to the Pac-12, just like Shedeur. And he's at Washington State. And Washington State last year ran the run-and-shoot offense, the June Jones offense from Hawaii. They ran an incredible offense, and you have a drop in production, 3,200 yards, right? 23 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. So when you see an FCS quarterback transfer into the Power 5, and he goes from 47 touchdowns to 23, and now Cam Ward played great. Nobody's mad at Cam Ward. Completion percentages are very similar to Shedeur. So I would say, realistically, this is where Shedeur should be. But the problem is Shedeur has never thrown for 4,000 yards. He's a 3,000-yard passer. He's less volume than this. So it's going to increase his number of reps. It's going to increase his chances to succeed. But I would say this is a more realistic estimation as to how Shedeur is going to do. Now, that being said, they also won 7 games last year. Washington State did. I think it's pretty realistic if Colorado were to win 7 games. Nobody's winning a Heisman. That talk is absurd. That talk is absurd. You know, there are quarterbacks. Who won the Heisman last year? Caleb Williams? Look at the rest of the guys. Look at the rest of them. If I just sort it by yards, you're saying Shedeur Sanders is going to be up here with the who's who, with the Austin Reeds, the Michael Penix Jr.'s, the Caleb's, the Drake Mays. I already told you Georgia Southern was 5th in the country. That's offensive scheme. Stenson Bennett. These are guys, this is not happening, bro. 4,000 yards is Frank Harris. That's not happening. Do you know how great these players are? And they rush for 800 yards. Frank Harris is not a Heisman finalist. His team won 11 games. He threw for 4,000 yards. What did he rush for? My goodness, I don't even know. Here it is. He rushed for 600 yards. 4,000 yards passing, won 11 games, won the conference, 32 touchdowns, 9. This is amazing. And he's not even thought about it in the Heisman. You guys got to stop talking that absurd bullshit. Like, I'm sorry. I'm a supporter of the program. I'm a supporter of what people are doing, but I'm not unrealistic about what I'm seeing or what I anticipate seeing in the season. And to hear things like, is he going to win a Heisman? Are they going to be in the national championship? Are they going to win the conference? Like, all that talk is absurd. Absolute horseshit bullshit. We're talking about 6 ranked teams in the damn conference. 6 ranked teams in the conference at the end of last season's final poll. One of the most competitive conferences in the most competitive conference in the entire country. What are we talking about? We're talking about a damn dogfight every Saturday is what we're talking about. We're talking about a real problem every Saturday. It's not going to be easy. So everybody needs to stop talking, oh, yeah, Pac-12 is easy, man. There's no defense in Pac-12. It's real easy. Stop it. That's an absurdity. It's ridiculous. Nonetheless, thanks for being here, guys. I appreciate you guys. Let me go back over here, make sure I didn't miss any other questions. What do you think is the difference between Landon King and Traore? Landon King has breakaway speed. I think he understands what role they want to use him in. Landon King's a weapon, bro. His tape looks like a wide receiver. Jalen Ellis just decommitted from Western Virginia. Wears CU uniform. Okay. Cam Ward is a dog. Yeah, he is. What should we expect from Travis Hunter? Do you think he can be competitive in the Pac-12? Yes, I think Travis Hunter is a very competitive player. I think he'll be fine. I think what we can expect is he needs to refine his route running. They need to teach him how to be a legitimate wide receiver, and then the sky's the limit. People don't know football, that's why. Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's not their fault. You don't know what you don't know is what some guy told me the other day. But I just want to tell you guys thank you for being here. I appreciate everything you guys do. I'm going to skip an ad, and we're going to do this. What is this crap? They took off my song. What is wrong with you guys? Come on now.
When they come, and they will.
Thank you guys for being here.
I have an army.
We have a Hulk.
Oh, I thought the beast had won it off.
You're missing the point. There's no throne. There is no version of this where you come out on top.
Let me infiltrate the beat, concentrate the heat. If you ain't on my level, fuck fuck it, let me be. I'll be going till it's all in motion, talking killing rappers, then I hit my quota. And my train of thought is more a locomotive, talking reason for it, I got locomotives. Used to be on a revenge tip, on a stun on my ex in a France tip. I was Spider-Man whipping the black suit, I was powerful but almost lost Luke. Blurring the line between human and artist, try not to change but I swear it's the hardest. I swear when you're up they turn you to a target. Home was a trip, all I did when I'm talking. So, what it take to be an icon? All in your desktop, so I just might already be one. My me with the label, it feels on the table one sign, but I'm down for a free lunch. Just speaking my heat-seeking missiles of hits, but other than me, I see no heat exists. Yo, gassed up, I'm about to go green, go green, go green. Hulk smash if she know me, know me, know me. Write it to life like I'm Stan Lee, Stan Lee, Stan Lee. If life's about to be a cold war, I'm the hero that they asked for. Green, I'm about to go, I'm about to go green. I'm about to go, I'm about to go green. I'm about to go, I'm about to go green. Get the fuck back, I'm about to go green. I might begin making a feature Iraq. Cause when I hit your beat, I turn shit to Iraq. Dropping bombs like I'm cursing you out. This your house, then I'm kicking you out. Quiet as a mouse, came in the game, not a word is out that I've been lighting the flame. Shit is potent, don't you know it? I've been flowing, steady growing till they know the name. Saw it ahead of time, knew that I'd get to my losing myself in the view to some window pane. I swear I'm all about peace, I'm a positive person. Wasn't always like that, you know it took me some learning. They asked me how I push a positive light, how I keep my composure through internal fights when addressing the mic through these dark nights. Where the Bruce Wayne, what a trick be. Here's some truth that I'll let free. Bruce Banner of rap if you ask me. When my will to win and the track meet, the secret is I'm always angry. Yo, gassed up, I'm about to go green, go green, go green. Hulk smash if she know me, know me, know me. Write it to life like I'm Stan Lee, Stan Lee, Stan Lee. If life's about to be a cold war, I'm the hero that they asked for. Green, I'm about to go, I'm about to go green. I'm about to go, I'm about to go green. I'm about to go, I'm about to go green. Get the fuck back.